Hey everybody, it's week 5. And I'll tell you my favorite thing about week 5. I did take some notes from our session today, but my favorite thing about week 5 is you're going to start seeing a couple of other things that you've learned in the past start to come forward. And the other thing that happens in week 5 is you really start to look at the bigger vision goals and you'll start to question them and question how much work they really are to do and how much effort it takes to do those. So when we look at tactics, we've really been focusing on tactics. Those are those daily items. Think about it like brushing your teeth, right? That you want it to be able to go kind of quick. So these are these everyday tactics. And to this week 5 is when you really start to see the lead to leg concept, right? That what are the leading tactics that you need to put in, right, to get that return on at the bigger piece. It takes a lot longer. And so it's exactly now where you start to see things start to add up. So if you did marketing regularly, you're starting to see your numbers go up. If you were trying to get exercise in, you're starting to actually physically feel better. If you're doing meal planning, you're starting to see it. If you're doing organization, you're starting to see that this room is clean and that thing is clean. And you're starting to see that it's working. And that's the best part of week 5 is you start to see things are working. The other thing that happens, and I warned you about this for week 6, and week 6 is when you really go, oh, I actually, what I thought was my big vision isn't really that vision anymore. So this is when you're going to start to really question your vision. And week 6, some of you might get there early, but week 6, you really do question your vision. What is it that I'm there to do? A lot of times we are focused on a big vision of, oh boy, I want to write a book. But as you're working through that process, you are also having a process. So you're starting to realize that there's some bigger things here. And so your bigger vision will evolve in week 6. And it'll evolve in a kinder, gentler, thoughtful, more loving way. I mean, this is why, why would I do the 12-week year? Well, because it is a lesson in prosperity. It is action. This is action energy. It's magnification. The 12-week year is another tool that we can use to bring action to our lives every day and action on the things that are really important to us. And that Facebook group, if you are not using it, you really, that's the goal I would put on for yourself for the week, because it is really helpful to have people that you know in class just give you a thumbs up. And if you are going into that and you haven't looked at the past ones, go back and look at the feed because it's really helpful. Many of you are putting in other things that will help inspire us as we go through this. And week 5 is also a lot of times when you're taking a step back and you're going, wait, let me look at this a little differently. And and taking a step back on your goal instead of charging all the way forward all the time. Sometimes taking a step back in week 5 and just going, oh, what am I doing again? Why am I doing this? Is really helpful. And it's actually, you have to sometimes take that step back to be able to assess, and then you can kind of take a step forward, but you'll take a step forward in a way that is more meaningful and in a way that's clarity. So anytime that you need to in this 12-week process to take a step back in order to take a step forward, you should. So that's not doing it. But that's, I think, the language we can bring into the group is this was a step back week for me on my big vision. This is a step back week for me to really look at, was this the right goal for me? And the other thing that's brought up in this week is productive procrastination. Um, that is one of the best ways to look at, is this really the right goal for you? If you are being productive, many of you came in with 3 goals. Sometimes I tell you, just go back to 1 until you can kind of get this process going. Productive procrastination is I still want to be achieving things. I still have the energy for it, but I don't have the energy for that one thing. And that's a big tool. So it is to say that that is a stumbling block for you, or that's something that isn't got the energy for it this week. So either put it on to next week again, acknowledge that there's productive procrastination, but there's also real life that happens. And real life is right that just so things popped up. And if you are productively procrastinating, it means that you're going to do things that are productive and they look like you're achieving, but they're not actually the things on your list. Then you need to look at the things on your list that you're not really doing. Yeah. And go, why is this bugging me? Because this is a time that you get to kind of question it, that you get to go, oh, well, I wonder why that is. And then you start asking questions. And what ends up happening, here's the joy of this. Here's the prosperity work, right? The prosperity work is that many times the things that we procrastinate around, there's an answer right in front of us, but we don't actually see it because it's always there. So when you are starting to look at that, many of you will in that place go, what is it that is is not there? And a lot of times there are two big answers on productive procrastination. One is actually a time element, is that you don't actually know how it's going to fit. So I need to do this task, but I don't actually know how it's going to fit into my world. Or or the second is like mental space, and it's a lot of times it's organizational. So it is like I don't have the mental bandwidth, or that things are not aligned enough, that there's something else that it's not perfect for, and that kind of stops you from going in. So I'll give you an example. For a lot of people, billing is an issue, that they're not doing billing. Well, and they're not doing billing because they have the story in their head that it's not organized enough for them to just do it. And so that's actually the problem, not that you're not doing the task. The task needs to be organized better. So if you are coming in, right, is this a time conversation, or is this actually an organizational space? And if you're not doing it, a lot of times it is around I don't know how it fits into my system right now. So that's the question, right? How do I get my life to work so that all these parts fit in? And the way that you do that is you just punt, P-U-N-T, punt. You just kick the ball somewhere and see what happens. Just kick the ball anywhere and see what happens. And if it means like let me open it up and look at it for 5 minutes. You will be stunned at how a 10-minute time block um, will move you forward. And what I like about that 10-minute time block, I have them on my desk all the time, which is a little timer, right? This is magic. So when I am procrastinating, when I don't know how it fits, when I don't know what to do, I'm just going to set my timer for 10 minutes. It's only a tiny amount. And this time, if I just go, I'll take 10 minutes, 10 minutes of time really makes life easy. So a lot of times, all you have to do to get to your big vision is to go, what can, let me take 10 minutes. And then it's not nothing. We talk about it for those of you who've been in other classes, it's no 0 days, right? No 0 days. But that is one of the things that you can really look at. Okay, well, have a great time. Again, right, lead to leg was what we had to talk about. Taking a step back to take a step forward, and then productive procrastination. Those were their big topics this week. It is week 5. You are almost halfway there. This week is your halfway mark. So congratulations. And congratulations for showing up, for being there. And what I'm also loving is that you're learning how to communicate with each other. You're learning how to be a team, and learning how to be a team player. And that is really valuable. And every time that you like somebody's post or say something nice to them or put something in the chat box, it's meaningful. They're going to take that with them all of your classmates are going to take that love with them all week. So it's important. It's important, and don't ever think that that little heart emoji that you're putting in to somebody or private messaging, don't think for a second that that's not important. It is. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. I can't wait. I can't wait. You're almost halfway. Bye.